Welcome everybody to Fresh Start Yoga. I'm Lizzie Brooks, and this is where seriously good yoga isn't too serious. So I really appreciate you showing up today and choosing my practice. Starting over and having a fresh start might just be that you want to do this in the morning and start with a fresh start there. Or it could mean that stuff's been going on in your life and you feel a little bit more stagnant. You just kind of want to wipe the slate clean and feel that kind of ceremony of beginning again. So whatever your reasoning, this is a fresh start. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. We're just going to tune in for a very, very short period of time here. Lengthen up through the spine. And place the hands on the legs wherever it feels comfortable to you. Slightly elongate the back of the neck. And find some buoyancy in your heart. So the heart has a nice sweet lift. And just move along your breath. So let your lungs and ribs, shoulders, belly all move with the inhale as well as the exhale. And just keep the shoulder blades soft. Bring your hands together to your heart. And find a word or a phrase or something that you want to link to this practice as your intention for a fresh start. And once you have that, inhale fully. Sigh out. Inhale to say Om or just listen. Inhale. Om. And bow the head towards the heart. Let the head come up, shake off any clutter, and just start to roll the shoulders back and down a few times. So really big shoulder movements, you know, just like you do on a daily basis when you're just hanging out. See, that's why we need to do it, because we don't do it. And then go in the opposite direction. And then from here, we're going to reach out to the sides and just do a little bit of this lateral reach. So this is work. You'll start to feel the oblique, side body working, paraspinal muscles, core. And then from here, pause in the center, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart, itty bitty baby back bend in the upper back. Then neutralize that back bend and inhale, lift the arms up. You can interlace or not, reaching away, breathing here, full inhale. And sigh it out. Inhale again. And then float the arms down and away. Roll the shoulders back a few times. And then go ahead and turn longwise on your mat and shake your legs out. You can just lean back into your hands and then just let yourself find internal and external rotation of your hips, move the toes around, and then point and flex through the ankles. And then soles of the feet come down. Your fingertips can now point towards you, to the sides or back, whichever feels best for your shoulders. Roll your shoulders onto your back and then lift your heart. Deep breath in and let that go. Good. And then either stay here opening through the chest and working the back, or you can lift up any amount into a tabletop. So I'm scooting my feet a little more forward so that when I come up, my knees are roughly over my ankles. Inhale. Exhale, lower the hips 1/3 of the way down. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the hips 2/3 of the way down. Inhale here. And slowly land the hips. Slide the hands underneath the legs, roll the shoulders back, and take a supported boat. So you're supported in all ways here, by me, by your breath, by your hands here, and by your intentions. So remind yourself of that here as you start fresh. Open up through that chest, keeping that heart open, really fundamental. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and cross at the ankles, and you can take a little walk or hop back into a downward dog where you'll pedal it out. So we're here so that the contents of our heart is higher than our minds. So let the contents of the heart just cascade down to the brain. Shake out any overthinking. Clear the slate a little bit. And then separate your feet as wide as your mat and just take a really slow moving of the hips left and right. So you're opening your IT bands, hamstrings here. Knees can be bent any amount depending on what's going on in the back of the legs and the low back. And then from here, walk the feet into classic footing of downward dog. Lower the knees and press back into a nice long child's pose. Really inch your fingertips forward so you're broadening a whole lot through the side body and the spine. Deep breath in here. Exhale here. Inhale, rise up to all fours. And then just a little cat-cow. So you're just going to drape down with the belly, lifting the shoulders and the hips. Make sure it feels safe. And then go in the opposite direction, rounding, opening behind the heart, expansive back body. One more time through that, inhaling, expand front of the chest, and exhaling, rounding, opening the back of the heart. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, walk your feet towards your hands. Take your first fold. Do better than I did. This might be a half fold or a really bent knees fold. Hands might be on blocks. And then inhale, rise halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, round the spine, and just with that idea of fresh start, we're gonna roll up and restack our alignment. Not what we think our alignment is, but what it truly is. So when you get to the top, bloom the shoulders out a little bit and feel for your alignment where the head is over the shoulders, over the pelvis, over the feet, and then bring the hands to the heart. Go back to your intention, put a lot of life in the feet, and come right up to the top of the mat. We'll take a vinyasa here, or you can always skip these. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees any amount as you take your fold. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, fold. Let the leg that normally doesn't get to step first, let it step back first and then create your full plank pose. And then here's where we'll just remind ourselves how strong we are, okay? So sometimes when we need to start over, a fresh start, we've felt a little weaker. But right here, root into what's touching the floor, draw your organs towards your spine, find that layer of breath beneath all of that, and then either take a vinyasa, or you can go directly to child's or downward dog. Maybe you're taking upward dog, maybe you're taking cobra. Back to your downward facing dog. We'll join there. And then from here, changing it up. Hands are gonna walk back to the feet. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, fold. This time we'll go into a chair pose, but the hands are gonna start on the thighs. So if you have your hands up, place them on your thighs, then slide your hands down into the knees. Push the knees back until the hips, so push the knees back until the hips start to come back more. Then elongate your low back, so if you're over collapsed, elongate the low back, root into the heels here, and now take the arms to whatever height feels good for you. Free up that neck. And then we're gonna do something that's really good for the brain, really good for a fresh start to kind of get the brain working differently. We're gonna change the arms here. So from here, keep your left arm forward and press your right arm back as you stand up tall. Good, come back to center. And you can turn your palms down or whichever way you want. We're gonna stand up, right arm stays forward, left arm presses back. And back forward, that's the flow. Left arm forward, right arm back, stand tall, open through the shoulders, exhale, chair. Last one like that, left arm back, right arm forward, press, work the tricep, and here. Now turn the palms facing up and open the arms out to the sides. Roll the shoulders back. Now sometimes when we take the arms back, we collapse. Elongate here, optional lift of the heels. So when we want a fresh start, we want balance, right? So working that here, this is a big pose, lots of work in the glutes and the hamstrings, quadriceps, and then float it all down as you stand tall. Ooh, shake that on out. And then with your heart nice and buoyant, walk with a lot of confidence all the way back up to the top of the mat. Bring your hands together there, locate your breathing. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Halfway up with the in-breath. Exhale, take it back to plank pose. Make your correct decision for where you're going. Use a breath with every movement. And we'll join in downward facing dog. Step your left foot a little more in towards the midline. Let your right leg reach up and do whatever you want in this hip. So you can circle around, you can stack, you can open through the front of the hip and the psoas here, whatever feels good. And then we'll take that foot down. Let's go to the other side. Right foot walks a little more into the midline, left leg rises, and then you'll explore through the hips here, whatever feels good to you. A lot of freedom. So when you start over, remembering with this fresh start that you have freedom. And then exhale, lowering that foot down. And then from here, plank pose. Again, that strength that we're bringing in. Draw the organs towards the spine. From here, you're going to imagine that there's a button you want to press a little bit in front of you and in the middle. Stay here or put the knees down for this. Right pointer finger, touch that button, put the hand back down. Left pointer finger, touch the button, put it back down. Right touches, pushes, and down. Left pushes and down. So we have to stabilize the core differently. Now lower the knees, reach back, child's pose, roll the wrists out here. And if you want to use blocks for this next section of hip opening and heart opening, you can get them maybe first or second height near the top of your mat. If not, your fingertips will just come to the floor. From here, either hands on the blocks or on the floor, knees down, step your right foot forward into a lunge. I like to tuck my back toes and scoot my left knee back a little bit more. If that feels okay, you might do that. If you need a blanket under the back knee, I would recommend one. Shoulders roll back, rise up any amount. So feel that gorgeous length come right into that front body on that left side. You're not leading with your chin, so not lifting here, but rolling the shoulders back, lifting the heart. And then if the gaze lifts, that's okay. Breathing here. And then shift back into half Hanumanasana, where the hips come back, your right set of toes spreads wide, and you're a little more in those right hamstrings, or a lot of more in those hamstrings. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, maybe bow in any amount. Spread your breath out nice and long, as if you're painting the back of your right leg. We'll roll all the way up into that forward position where we were, and this time you'll have an option to reach the arms. Palms could be together or separated. You could even interlace the hands and press the arms away, depending on what feels best in the shoulders and the spine. Root to the floor to rise and lift up. Inhale. Exhale, slowly find your blocks. Shift your hips back first before you take that right knee back. And then with or without the blocks, child's pose. If you're using the blocks, hands on the blocks, fingers wide, drop the heart down, breathing here. So I've made the decision that I'm gonna put a blanket under my knees for our next hip and heart opener. So get those blocks ready, rise up to that all fours position. Left foot comes forward. You can scoot the right knee a little further back. Draw down into the earth to lift up through the heart. Shoulder blades roll back, breathing here. A lot of attention to the breath, because if we start to stifle the breath, the body doesn't think it's safe to be in these positions, and it's going to go into protection mode and prevent the stretch. Inhale here. Exhale, shift back into that half split, half Hanumanasana, spreading the left set of toes, lifting the sitting bones a little bit. You might even bend that front knee if this is too much of a stretch. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, any amount of fold. And then coming on forward, we'll go back to where we started in that hip and heart opener with the option of lifting the arms to whichever placement you want. You could even reach back, okay? Find what works. Lift through the sternum. Find the layer of breath supporting you beneath all of the structure. Inhale here. Exhale, float the hands to the blocks or the floor. Shift back first with the hips, then take the knees down. Child's pose with or without the blocks, opening the hips wider if you want to take the knees out to the sides wider so you get into the groin a little bit more. Rising up. You can move your blocks to the side and you can move your blanket or towel to the side. Downward facing dog. All right, in this downward facing dog, we're gonna do some taps, okay? So the taps are gonna tap either underneath and out to the side, okay? Underneath and out to the side, or closer up to the outside of the hands. So if you're doing that, you'll come more into a plank pose and tap to the side of the hand. It's not near the hand, it's about 6 to 8 inches away. More plank pose, outer foot taps to the outside of the right hand. Right foot underneath to the outside of the left hand, press back. And continue. This doesn't have to go near the hands, this can go a little bit to the side, but we're really working the core here as well as the upper body. Tapping, pressing back, tapping, pressing back. And when you're pressing back, you don't have to have straight legs. You can have nice bent knees here. And we'll join in downward dog. Soften the work of the neck. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Walk your hands back to your feet, back of your mat. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, fold. Separate the feet for Malasana. Toes and knees are gonna turn out roughly 45 degrees, it might be a little bit more, and you'll bring your hands to your heart. If you need to bring a block in and sit on a block for this, or roll a blanket under your heels, place that. Soften through the neck, and now really reach through even the outer sides of the feet. Again, going into that groin stretch. Deep breath here, sigh out. So when we are feeling a little bit more condensed and stuck in our bubble, we often don't open our hips, and that makes us feel more stuck. So opening the hips now, opening the heart through this practice to gain access to more of ourselves for that propelling forward into our fresh start. You have an option here to do an arm balance of your choice. It could be crow, crane, forearm crow, anything you want to work on. I'm going to go ahead and do a forearm crow. And if you want to just watch this, you can just watch this and do it next time. Forearms down, fingers spread wide. Heels are lifted, and I'm still in that wide kneed position. Then I'm going to take my upper shins as high up to my upper arms as I can. Walk the feet closer in, heels are still lifted. Then there's a major shift of my weight forward where I take my shoulders towards my wrist and point my toes back. I know it looks like I'm touching the floor with some parts of me that aren't. It's a very low arm balance. And then shifting back into Malasana. Open twist here, right fingertips down to the floor, left arm up. If this is too much, put the left hand on the waist. Inhale. And exhale back to center. Left fingertips down. Right arm reaches up, roll the shoulder blades onto the back, expansive through the chest. Deep inhale, and exhale back to center. Let's do a lion's breath. It looks really cool. No, it doesn't, but it's really useful. A lion's breath is where you stick your tongue out and you look at your third eye point as you really let that out. So inhale fully, stick your tongue out, third eye. Yeah, just clear it out. One more time, inhale. What if you did that when you're just really annoyed with someone? You're like, I just really need to kind of let this out. They might not appreciate it. Walk into a plank pose. All right, so from here, we used that button earlier, and now we're gonna use a button, but we're gonna tap it with our toes, okay? So the button is anywhere underneath you that you wanna tap. We're gonna tap lightly, find that button, tap it with your right big toe, and go back into plank. Find the button, tap it with your left big toe, and go back to plank. Now the button is moving out somewhere to the side of your mat. Find that button, tap with your right toes, and then find that button and tap with your left toes. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in, big sigh out. Round the spine, round, round, round. You're gonna round all the way to plank this time. Draw the core back and then create the full plank once you get there without sagging the hips. Vinyasa or not. Chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look to the top of your mat, step or hop there. Inhale, rise halfway up, but it's a full inhalation. Exhale, fold. Choose how you'd like to rise. Create that. Come all the way to stand. Let your hands touch and bring them to your heart. And then make any adjustments you need to. I'm always having to adjust because I've got this big battery pack up and it messes with my shirt. First world problems. Shift your weight over into your left foot. Bring your right knee up. Interlace in front or behind that knee. Breathing here. And we're gonna inch our way into a warrior three. So from here, the right leg goes back, fingertips are gonna come down to the floor or to blocks, or reaching back or forward. Right toes rotate towards the floor, front of the right hip towards the floor, lengthen the spine forward, and lengthen the right leg back. Again, fingertips can come down at any time here. Breathing. So think of yourself soaring through all of the obstacles. You're just, whoo, like a bird, beautifully soaring through, letting the obstacles just live their life, but you are really, really able to pass them by. And then from here, lowering down into a low lunge, left leg is forward. Inhale, lengthen up through the hips. Exhale, recreate that lunge. Right hand goes underneath the right shoulder, left arm wraps around. You can reach back or up for the twist. Right palm might come down, shoulders open here, breathe. Plug the femur heads into the pelvis here, get nice and strong. Inhale is here. Exhale, reach the top arm back and down. Step back into plank pose. Are you taking a vinyasa? If so, add it in. If not, delete it out. Downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat. Find your feet there. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Choose the way you're coming up to standing, reach and rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Use this mountain pose to feel, again, that alignment with intention, with integrity. Every facet of you showing up. Separate the feet a little bit wider so you might have a little bit better balance. Shift into the right foot, let the left knee come up, interlace there, and just find that balance. Trust yourself here. As you become ready, we're gonna create that warrior three. You choose the arm position that's right for you. Left leg reaches back, turn the left toes down towards the floor. Maybe fingertips come towards the floor, even if you just wanna get the pelvis right there first, and then lift the hands later. Breathing here, soaring through. Beautiful, all of the issues just beating up on your feathers and rolling off, just really rolling right off. And then create more of a bend in the right leg and find your low lunge. Straighten it all up, lengthen, little modified pyramid, and then back into the lunge. Left fingertips are palm down, right arm reaches behind. You can stay there or reach it up. Plug the femur heads into the pelvis, breathe in the twist. Strong at your center. Inhale. Exhale, right arm reaches around and down. Come into your plank pose and then make your decision if this is a vinyasa or if it's a resting pose. And then in your downward facing dog, we're gonna do something, come on down actually, into a child's pose first. Let's roll the wrists out. We're gonna do something a little funky, a little weird, because that's me. What do you expect? We're going to shake the floor. We're going to use fast twitch muscle fibers. So in yoga, what we use most is slow twitch, which is these longer holds. Fast twitch muscle fibers, we want to pay attention to them too. And we actually want to work the upper body and the lymphatic system and all of this. So what we're gonna do is from a downward dog, push, 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 and imagine that you can move the floor away from you, okay? So really get into it, come into that downward dog, soften the knees, and then shake, 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 push, 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 push. Really shake the earth, shake it up. Shake it up. I know it's weird. Keep going. You're going to start to feel really fatigued in the upper arms. You can bend more if you want. Keep the neck soft. Press, 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 and then downward dog. Deep breath in and sigh out. From here, look to the top of the mat. You can step, or if you want to hop your feet there. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, fold. Chair pose with the arms back. So it's a bit of a chair and bear marriage here. Reach the arms back, palms up. Loop the shoulder blades onto your back. Let weight come into your heels. Move the glutes back a little bit more. Breathe here and just do a little lift and lower of the arms, nice and slow. Active through the shoulders, open through the chest, active through the legs. Breathing here. Again, finding your strength so you can start over with that confidence that the strength is there. The strength is always there. And then from here, reach the arms forward and come into chair pose. You don't have to have the arms lifted alongside of the ears if that doesn't feel right. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, float the arms down and roll the shoulders back and down a few times. Let's meet longwise on our mats here. Hi. And bend the knees into a goddess squat. How much your toes are turned out or in kind of is dictated by the hips and what feels good there. So don't overthink it, just go where it feels good and balanced. Breathe here. Inhale, lift up a little bit. Exhale, lower a little bit. Good. Now, if you feel safe in the low back, reach the arms forward, palms up, and then open them to the sides. Keep breathing here. And then we're gonna go up and over. Actually, I will mirror you guys here. We're gonna go up and over with the left arm and under and across with the right. Breathing here. If this is too much, lower the forearm on the thigh. And then we're just gonna reverse, come to reaching, and do it on the other side. Nice and active, maybe forearm on the thigh. One more time, each side. Windmilling those arms, working the side body and the legs. And after you've done that other side, we'll come all the way up, reach, press back, and then straighten the legs, float the arms down. Glad that's over. Heels reach back, shake it all out, and just draw a real small circle, or maybe a big circle with the pelvis, and other direction. Just open it on all quadrants of the hips. And then we'll come to center. Do you hear the allergies? Yes, Austin, the allergy capital of the world. Triangle pose. Right toes turn out, left toes turn in. Let the arms reach up. Get long laterally. And when you can't get any longer, put your hand down and reach your other arm up. Simple as that. Shoulders roll back. Breathe. Put life in the feet. Put life in your breath. If there's another variation of this you'd like to do, feel free to add it on. And then from here, we're gonna go into our Halfmoon Pose. So if you wanna have a block, it's going to be catty corner to your right pinky toe. I will show you that here. And hop your back foot in, bend your front knee, find your block or the floor, and open it up. See how I straighten my lower leg and it just helps lever the back already straight and strong leg up. Shoulder blades on the back, breath here. Gaze down if balance is a little hard, and move your block or fingertips further forward so you cannot be so close to the foot that you don't feel like you have a kickstand and that your spine is too curved. Breathe here. Look down if you're not already. We're going to lower into a warrior two. Take your block with you if you're going to use it on the other side. Breathe in warrior two. Straighten everything up. We'll switch sides and prep for our triangle pose. So put that block down, and of course you can use it for triangle if you'd like. From here, elongate, reach, 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 long spine, long side ribs, hand down, other arm up, bloom from here. So where you take the gaze is really up to you, what feels good. So I have a tendency to hyperextend my front knee here. I'm gonna put a little micro bend so I'm not collapsed in the joints, but rather living more in the muscles. Are you ready? Half moon. Back hand can come to the waist if you like. You can hop that back foot in. And then block comes wherever you need it. Caddy corner of the left pinky toe. You're really blooming from midline to extend out into your half moon. Lots of nice breath here. Keep the neck safe and happy, so whatever option you've chosen for where your gaze is. If your gaze is up, looking down. Slow transition, you can leave your block behind. Warrior two. Reach everything up, toes turn this way, arms reach. Bring your hands to your heart and then shake it all out. Let's roll the head around one way and then the other way. And then from here, heel toe in. And we're gonna have an option for, this is again, fast twitch, more explosive movement. You don't have to do this. So the option, if you're not jumping, is to step, 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 step. That still work. If you wanna add the hops, really good for our bones, really good for our lymphatic system, but don't do it if it doesn't feel right. All right, so remember when you land out and in, it's with bent knees. Don't go too far out, okay? Hands to the heart, bend the knees. All right, we're gonna inhale and hop out with bent knees. Arms reach. Yeah, exhale in. Inhale, exhale center. Inhale out, exhale in. Good, stay with it. And you can make these itty bitty or a little larger if the whole body agrees to that. 3, 2, stay with it. Last one. And come back, straighten it all up and shake it out. Put both hands over your heart center and just breathe. So we did that for like 12 seconds and this is the change that you made. So you can do something for a really short period of time and make a huge impact, a huge beneficial shift in your system. Unlock the knees, the glutes, the jaw. Feel how alive and awake the body is to support you in the movement that you chose. Inhale, shake it on out. We're gonna inhale, reach here. Exhale for our fold. Now you can either heel toe out into a wide fold or take the hands a little wider. Move the shoulders forward, 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 lift the heels, take a little bend and hop out. So whichever one works for you. Breathing here. And then why we prepped the hips, I'll show you. Turn your right set of toes out and left heel down, left toes up, walking over. So Halfmoonasana. If you're up here like this and you can't get your hips any lower, that's okay. But if it's just because your leg isn't close enough to you, I'll show you that now. So I can't lower my hips any lower here. But if I scoot my leg closer, I can lower down. So if that's what's preventing you, scoot your leg closer. Your lower heel can be lifted. Breathe here. Hands can be down. Hands underneath you, and we're gonna walk over to the other side, extensive through that inner thigh, opening the chest here. Hands could be down. Breathing here. If what I'm doing doesn't work for you, do something else that works for you, right? Modify it, change it. And then from here, option for arm balance. We're gonna come back up. You might wanna watch this first. I'll give you an opportunity to watch it and then do it. We're higher up here, knee is bent. We're on that right side. Drop your heart down. Put your right arm behind your right leg, underneath. So I'm gonna drop my shoulder there. My right hand is gonna go about 6 to 8 inches behind my right foot, and I'm going to shift my weight back. Shift my weight back. Back foot is down, and then maybe hug and lift by pointing my toes. And lift here, maybe lift that top arm, breathing. Very awkward. And come on down. So I'll show you one more time. Right arm underneath, hunker down. Lean back into that hand, stay here or point the toes. Lift up. All right, foot comes down. Well, we got another side. Drop the chest. Left hand behind the left foot, about 6 to 8 inches back. There has to be a shift of my weight back in order to land in the hand and the back foot to lift here. And come on out. If you want to try again, hunker down, hand comes down, drop the chest, lean back. If I don't lean back, nothing's gonna lift. Lean back and point. Foot down, wide-legged forward fold. You don't have to fold deeply for it to be really impactful and beneficial. And then from here, hands underneath the shoulders, and you can hop in or heel toe in. So hopping, heels lift high, shoulders past the wrists, bend the knees, find that spring action, lift the pelvis high and hop towards center. And then we'll lower down, either sitting on our heels or sitting any other way that feels good to you. And just letting ourselves have a moment for breath. Every single breath is a fresh start. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. It's true. It's a new breath. You've never taken that breath. Deep breath in. Big sigh out. All right, so very careful in making a decision about how you want to sit for our breath work. And please don't skip the breath work because it's so shifting for the brain chemistry, for the body chemistry. It makes a huge difference in your stress level for the better. So if you want to sit on blocks or a block, you can always part your feet and sit back here, okay? Or you can sit with any amount of height with a blanket or anything into a cross-legged position. Whatever feels good, you find the place that's right for you. And then we'll do alternate nostril breathing. So you can use your right thumb and whichever other finger, because you're gonna close off your nostrils like this by pressing the nostril down, okay? So just bear with me, it's gonna be great. Close your right nostril, inhale through your left. Close off the left with any other finger, open up the right, exhale. Soften the shoulders. Inhale through the right. Close it off, exhale through the left. In left. And close it off, exhale right. Close the eyes. Inhale through your right. Close, exhale through your left. We'll slow it down a little. In left. Out right. In right. Out left. Soften. In left. out right, in right, and out left. Bring the hands to the legs or hands to the heart. Keep your eyes closed. And breathe even inhale, even exhale, or elongate the exhale a bit. Just dive inside and find 3 things that are working for you. You can start with the breath. The breath is supporting you and working for you. Maybe you have a friend or a family member that's a support. Maybe you have some untapped creativity that is there, ready and waiting. Whatever it is, 3 things that are positive and working. Marinating on those, remembering those. Inhale fully. And sigh out, shake it out, open the eyes. So I invite you to lay down and take a Shavasana. Any twisting on your back that might feel nice, maybe legs up the wall or putting your legs onto a couch or on a chair. And just taking this into a softer, more relaxing practice on your own where you trust yourself to make the decisions that are best for you. Thank you so much for trusting me with your practice today. Please, please do subscribe because it costs nothing and I'm just a one-woman business and it's all free. So if you can support me that way, it's very meaningful to me to help me grow and so that I can help you in return by creating more of these videos. And if you liked this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, please. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you need, any ways I can help, and also let me know how you found this channel. I'd really like to know how you found me. Thanks again. Namaste.